Hello everyone, this is Oluwaseun Amuda from the My Training Institute, and today we're talking about how to build a static website using AWS CDK. So before we start, let me actually uh, set up a foundation on how to understand this topic. Now, for you to understand any coding language, the first thing you need to know is know how to set it up manually. Instead of you using code to automate it, that as a code, you can actually do it manually in the AWS console. Let's say, for example, that CDK. So once you're able to do it manually, then you know, okay, oh, this way I'm going, this is what I need, where and what you are going to know them together. So you have knowledge of everything you need to do. Okay, you have the knowledge, oh, S3, wow, it can actually create an S3 bucket, right? Oh, I can upload right in there, not just only an object, I can upload a folder. That gives you the knowledge. Now, anytime you just want to do something, oh, okay, can this coding stuff actually upload a folder? You have a broad knowledge of what you actually want to do with that coding. You'll be able to control it, not the coding controlling you. Not that, oh, anytime you just run, wow. So it's actually, wow, it's create a bucket, but you're not the one that specified bucket name. It was an automated bucket name. No, it's because the coding aspect is controlling you, not you controlling it. And that doesn't make you a genius. A genius is able to control everything. And your ability to control everything makes you a genius. Now let's take for example, it's not that the genius doesn't make mistakes. They make mistakes. You see them making an error and they will actually remedy it because the fact that they make an error doesn't mean they don't know what they are doing. They know where the error comes from, they know how to remediate it, they know what to do to correct it. Sometimes you might be writing code and you might just overlook some things. Once oh, this is where the mistake is, you can actually just remediate it and correct it. So that's it. And so basically, I want to teach you how to like create a static website using AWS CDK, Python language, basically Python. Now, the first thing you need to know is an S3, you can create a static website using S3 buckets. And once you have a website, you can also route into traffic to Route 53, that's your hosted domain, or probably to any domain you have to host it to. So if you have a domain, you can create an array record that links it to the what? To the hosted domain. So if okay, you have only had a Route 53, and you don't know whether it's a record. No, I just do it right in here, you just say, oh, this magic, and cramming it off and doesn't mean you know it. It doesn't mean that you can reproduce somewhere else. No. So now that's what I shall want to do for you. Now, what I need to do now is initialize the domain right here. That's CDK init. So let me open terminal. It's not going to run, but let me open a terminal for you. Oh, sorry. The reason why it's not going to run is because I still have something in this directory. That's the coding the static website I want to host on it. Work on PowerShell because I haven't configured it yet on PowerShell. So it might not be working on your own because you still have to install some parameter like npm, Node.js, and other stuff like that. Once you take a look at the AWS documentation, you see the required parameters you need to install for it to work. So CDK in it. You need to like, okay, give us a sample, or do you want to create a new one? Do you want to create a sample one? Do you want to import the libraries? Stuff like that. So, so these are the languages you can actually use. You have C Sharp, F Sharp, Go, Java, JavaScript, Python, TypeScript. They all have their own documentation, like inside the same. So I'm using Python. I'm going with Python, and it's going to like return an error now. Oh, I can't run CDK in it in a non-empty directory. As it directory is not empty. So what I actually need to do now is let me delete this file. So I have to delete this file. Then I will run the code again. Now it's going to work. It's going to initialize the environment for me. As you can see, it's initializing the environment for me. Very simple. Now, even though after initializing the whole environment, there are still some things I need to set up. As you can see, you have CDKLS, that's at least tags for you. CDK synthesize, that's just return a CloudFormation template of what is going to create for you. CDK deploy is like going to deploy to that account or region, that account and region, your AWS account and that same region you want to deploy. Then CDK diff is just like anytime you just update this code, it's going to like check the difference. Like, oh, this is what I'm deleting, this is what I'm adding, this is what I'm adding, or some stuff like that. Or this, I'm removing this, I'm not adding anything. That's the difference. Then CDK documentation is also open with CDK documentation for you. In case you don't know your way around, it opens CDK documentation for you. Now, it asks me to follow a particular code. Right here, it says, "Welcome to AWS CDK." You can also find it right here in the CDA in the README. So to manual create, so let's do this. We have to run this first. So run this environment first. After that, since we are working on a window environment, so we're going to run this. You see, Python environment is already done. Now let me show you something right in there. Okay, I shall run the Python environment. Okay, yeah, it's still the same thing. So all this one are underlined because I've not run the necessary requirement for it. So let me run the requirements. You have to take note anytime you are noticing all those errors, you have to run the necessary requirements. Still downloading the requirements. So you see, it's no longer underlying all this because that's actually downloaded the necessary requirement for it. So that's how it works. CDK is simple, actually, very, very simple, very simple. But you have to understand the fundamental. That's why I actually take time to explain the fact that you need to know the basics, the manual aspect, the manual configuration of what you want to do. If you can't do it manually, trust me, you can't do it right here on CDK. No, there's no way. There's no way you can do it that way. So you have to understand the manual configuration for it. Okay, it's still loading. CDK takes time. They have high latency. But you just have to be patient because what it's actually doing a lot. Doing a lot, yeah. It's doing much, so it takes time. Okay. So this one will return the CloudFormation template for me. That's function of this, of what it wants to deploy. So how the CDK works is that is anytime you just write this code, it's going to like create them in CloudFormation template and it's going to deploy them into your environment. I don't know if I get them. It's going to deploy them to your environment. So anytime you do this, before you can deploy, you have to run CDK Bootstrap. I've actually bootstrapped my own account, so I'll delete it, then run it again so that I can see. So if you don't run it, it's not going to deploy anything. No, it's not going to deploy anything. So that's consistent. It takes time. That's one of the problems CDK. Also, you'll have just configured within 5 minutes or less. You are still battling on it on CDK, but CDK has an advantage in terms of you are working on different multiple environments, especially that's space. It actually takes a lot of, let me say, they play a big role in automation. Yeah, when you time to automate an account, probably you want to move in another, want to move an account to another account. Like you want to move okay with a particular security aspect of your own account. You want that account to have it, then you can also do CDK for it. That's what it does. And how do you do that? Anytime you use code pipeline, just CI/CD, then you use CDK. So you have to push it into your GitHub. From your GitHub, you run it into your AWS account. That way many people can work on it. So that's just one of the advantage. So you see, it takes a lot of time because it's trying to get the CloudFormation template. So here we are. So this is current state. It is right now. Now I said I have a CDK Bootstrap. Actually, there's nothing to deploy right now, so it's not going to deploy anything apart from maybe rows, IMI row. Now, okay, now that we are good to go, so the main thing that is running right in here is just this is the app.py is the main thing that's running right in here. So this static website app and whatever it is, this is writing here. So it's going to like call this. Whatever code we put right in here is going to call it and run it right in here. So we have to configure our environment. So if you read this, if you take a look at this README, it says if you don't specify an environment, the stack will deploy. That's cloud agnostic. So that's just to this your main account. The account that's configured. If it's not configured, it's going to return an error. But what I actually want to do right now, I will need an account. But let me show you. So let me return back. I won't configure the environment right now until I run the code. So okay. So right now, let me create a bucket. Creating a bucket is very simple. So you don't really need it's because I have my access key and secret access key right in here. That's it's going to run that way. But if I'm not having it, it's not going to run. Okay, so let me show you how to create a bucket. So just come right here, S3, as you can see, AWS CDK S3. This is the documentation. As you can see, that's the documentation. AWS CDK to document kit. So creating a bucket, all you just need is this AWS CDK as a class. But we need to import this. We need to like import. So like it did. And then to type, I've already copied it. So we are good to go. Yeah. So now let me go and copy the code. So that same is going to recognize that and it's going to create a bucket for me. See? So I'm going to put space bar right in here. Just bucket, as you can say bucket. That's I want to create a bucket. I'm telling it to create a bucket. S3 create a bucket for me. From bucket name. As you can see, so not even this self. So I don't really need this. What this is going to do is just like give the bucket name. So this is bucket name. This is the ID. So I'm not using this. So let me put it. Okay. So that one just create a bucket for me only. But this is what I need. So I don't need the whole of this. I just want the buckets, just all buckets. Okay. I will only just pick the little that I need. So let me close this for now. Okay, so I don't try anything application. It's just like trying to show you that, oh, these are things you can try to do with this. Okay. So let me type it right here. Okay. So I'm saying ID, this ID is equals to this. Then this is our bucket name equals to this. Then I'm going to add a removal policy. So that anytime I delete the cloud formation, I should delete the buckets. That's the bucket name. I see. Encryption, I want to encrypt it, and other stuff like that. Notification. So what I'm searching for is remover. So on similar to this. So instead of copying right in there, I can try to do it right in. So it's seems like we're good to go. Now this I have to specify this. I have to import this. I think after that control Z. Policy. Is there something wrong with my policy? Let me copy this. I knew all these things should be encoded in blue. Okay. I'm not blocking public access. Once you do that, all you just need to do is okay, encryption, you type it right in there. Then you create the encryption file. My enabling version to be true, no. So I told you that time that okay, you should know what you need and things you don't need to do now. Not retaining, I'm actually destroying it. So I actually want to destroy it. So this is actually going to create a bucket for me, but it's not going to create what I want. It's going to create a bucket, but it's not with this bucket name. So this is the ID. Take note of it. It's your ID. The ID is this. So you just want to create the bucket name like buckets, probably what's the static website, CD.345 something like that. But I need a bucket name, so I'm going to type our bucket name. Then let's call it static website. Okay. So this simple code is going to like deploy a website for us. Like sorry, going to deploy a bucket for us. So let me run the terminal and okay. So how do you know it's going to work? You can use CDK synthesize or CDK deploy. Then it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to deploy this? So if bucket name already exists, if this particular name already exists, it's not going to create it. S3 is global, so it's not going to create it. So let me go to my S3 management console. So if someone else has that name, it's not going to create this. So as you can see, nothing like static bucket right in here. I've not deployed it though. As you can see, nothing like static bucket right in here. So it takes time, let's say an average of 3 minutes to do that. And okay, I said I wanted to show something. This, if you are running this, it's not going to work. You have to run Bootstrap. It says please run Bootstrap. So to have the latest version, so you have to run CDK Bootstrap. Take note of that. This is why it's going to run is because I already have Bootstrap transformation. I've already bootstrapped my environment. So let me show you. Let's see everything. We have 3 minutes. So as you can see, we have our CDK toolkit. So I already bootstrap this environment. So whatever it is I'm going to create is going to use this. So as you can see, I'm bootstrap the environment. So all you just need to do is write enter CDK bootstrap. So that's that will do it. Regardless of that, it's going to work. Okay. It says there's an error in line 22. Perhaps it's asking like perhaps it seems like we forget the comma. So that's one thing I talk about the genius. They know where the mistake is. 3 minutes. It takes time. So why is deploying? Let me show you. Let me show you this place. So this is the AWS documentation. It's like, okay, you want to work with Python, and these are the prerequisites. You have to install Python, right? To have that. As if you want to create a project, create a directory, you move into the directory, you do this, around that this the other time. Then the environment, you do this, then you configure the necessary requirements. You have this, so it's something simple. It's very simple, so you can always break this up. We have so we have some examples right in here. Check them in the repository. Maybe this is your first time, you call it like so this TypeScript. You can use Python, this Python. So it's going to show you the next things you need to do. With KLS, you have a stack before. See? So what I did here was to create a bucket. So they just specify the bucket name. So it's just going to create any buckets with the name for them. So let's take a look at the outputs. Output bucket name. So it's telling like, oh, you have to bootstrap your accounts. As you can see, you have to bootstrap. Take note of that. Then it's going to deploy. Otherwise, it's going to return an error. Okay, bucket should be created in the scope of a stack. Oh, sorry. So this should be safe. Scope is set for Python. The scope is safe. Take note of that. Is that it says scope equals to safe or whatever it is. So okay, let me show you what else again. I'll show you. You can let's read all this up yourself. This is something very simple, CDK. Now let me show you the best practice. Yeah, the best practice of CDK. So this now I talked about it. This CDK deploy now. This is my account. I want to deploy to this guy's account. I have his access key or access key, or I can zoom a row from to it from my own account. Then this is just like going to control it. This is the pipeline. So it's going to like push it into this place. Then I can try to deploy the pipeline in the future into any account I want to put, whether beta account, that's production account, gamma account, stuff like that. So coding best practice. So this is You have a team, then you have your code repository. So there's someone that always check out the code. You know, you can't just deploy directly. Okay, let me check whether this is done. Okay, it's still working. You can't just deploy directly. Someone has to confirm, oh, is the code up standard, stuff like that. Then the package, everything, CDK app, boom, you're good to go. So you can always like check this up. They're very simple. It's not okay. So this is bucket name was contain lowercase. Okay. Oh, underscore are not accepted. Okay. These are types of error you might encounter. You know, you have to know these things. Under scripts or the buckets or whatever it is, doesn't have to be captured. Anytime you're creating bucket, it doesn't have to be captured, stuff like that. So I actually want to show you how to do it. You know, I was talking about doing it step by step. So I actually show you how to do this step, and the remaining one I just like go through it, then publish the code at once. So that's what I do. Just like want to show you how the environment works. That's what I'm doing right now. So anyone who's working with CDK, you have to take your time. That's just something about CDK. Take your time because the work is doing is much. That's it. Okay. Um, so we have it right in here. As you can see. So it's actually rolling this back. Why? Because the bucket already exists somewhere. So already has that bucket name, static website. As you can see, our static website already exists. So you need to roll it back. But then let's do away with this because this bucket name already exists. So it's, I need to roll back the stack. So I just need to do is you have to go and delete it. This cloud formation stack. As you can see, it's creating the stack. So the bucket already exists. So as my name. So now let me just let me take you a look instead of wasting time writing it. So I want to create an S3 bucket. Uh, I want to route it to my route 3. So actually I should go into S3 directly, but I won't be doing that. So I'm just going to route 53 targets. So that's an example of how to do everything right from start to the end. So this is an example for me that I can use. Okay. So I have a domain name that is oluwaseun.ml. That's domain name want to assume. That's the record name. And I import this as bonnet underscore s3. So this plus this join it might not see this because I didn't import necessary parameters. So I just need to do it instead of typing the bucket name, I just say F. So I just going to type anything in it. So you just say record name. it's going to do with that. So, okay. So I call it true. Then the index file is index.html. So I have to import Route 53. So I have to like, okay, import it right from AWS. Then I'm going to add AWS targets, route targets. Okay. Then I believe I should add remove our policy right here. Check or something. Okay, so let me just make it out. Okay, so I have it right here. I have www.version.ml. That's the domain name and the bucket name. So it's not in the no. Anytime I want to go static website, it has to be a name of that bucket name. So that's the domain name, version.ml. That's the zone. Then what is it again? Bucket website. So this is it. Route 53 a record. Alias record zone. This is the zone. This is record name. That's record name. Targets. So I'm to create a record for this particular bucket. Now, this bucket does not have anything right inside, so I have to like deploy something inside it. So let me go to documentation. We call it deployment. Let's take deployment. So we call it bucket deployment and deploy something to that bucket. So just copy this code. This is an example. We have several of them right here. I have to import this too. So I think destination bucket is websites. And the paths. For now, I don't have the paths for now. So if you copy this path, it's not going to work for you. So I don't have the path for now. Now let's go. Let me show you path. So I want to add the file I deleted the other time. So this is the file, and I want to copy this inside this folder. So it's done. So now I said I have CDK installed already. I have AWS. This is my Git. Yes, another package like that. So then I have them right installed. That's why I'm not using. That's why I'm not deploying this in another environment. So the path will be dots. Dots means the current directory. That's static website. Current directory slash sunglass. So slash HTML. So I have another directory right inside HTML. So it's going to like upload all this. So I think we are good to go. So this is an ID. Take note of that ID because this is also an ID. It's also an ID. So I think the only thing left right now is the environment. So yes, it's one. So let me go and copy my account ID. So we are good to go. Yeah. So let me run the terminal again and let me deploy this. So it's going to like create your website for us. And if you want to output, probably I want to output the bucket name right now. I don't want to output bucket name. So let me add that to the code too. Or probably the buckets. So call it CFN. Let me look it up. Um, as CDK. AWS CDK. I'll be outputs. So you have to search for the outputs. CFN outputs. That should be out. Stop something like this. No, everything's right now, but let me, this is an ID. Note of that. So ID can be anything. So you can't specify the same ID for everything. No. ID are identical. Take note of that, identical. Yeah, which style is are we talking about? Buckets. That's a bucket website. Then what exactly in the bucket website? So let me buckets. Not sure. Website domain name. Yeah. So okay. So let me go and import this CFN output. So now let me run CDK deploy. So it's going to work this way. But before then, if you run CD diff, it's going to like output the same thing. I'm going to show you what it's going to output for you. Now that deployment, the deployment that is right in here, what it's going to do is that it's going to create a cloud formation. No, sorry, it's going to create a Lambda function that is going to deploy this thing for us. So the deployment doesn't just like deploy directly. No, it's going to like create a Lambda function that is going to run inside for the deployment. That's what it's going to do. I'm going to show you the Lambda. Once it's done with it, I'm going to show you what it actually did. So I'm actually skip some of this waiting aspect of it. So in case some are frustrating sometimes, it's going to show the time, amount of time it used. So it's slightly lost the error. A particular bucket name already exists in another person's account. It's global. Okay, I guess it's working on them right now. There's just some changes right in here. So it's asking me to actually deploy. So these are things it's going to like do for us. Create this bucket, create those test zone, and other stuff. So either yes or no. Or you type Y or you type N. Any other answer are not acceptable. So it takes time, it's going to take time to deploy because it's deploying something, it's deploying a bucket. Oh, it says the already system, then I delete since I didn't read it. Oh, that's it right there. Let me see this first. Then let's begin the bucket. That bucket name already exists. That's why it's not actually going. Let me deploy it again. I'm not going to deploy it because I haven't really stuck. Once that started, you're not going to know anything. Let's ask for yes or no. So if you remember type CDK deploy auto approve, it's still going to ask you for confirmation. So there's no need for you to type in it. The only thing you can do is CDK deploy to a particular AWS account or role or target region. So it's already deploying already. Okay, so we are six mistake rating. So that's changed to a node. That's Docker. That's what Kubernetes does. They move the container, so it's moving it to my own account. That's what it's doing now. So try it right now. Also, you have Lambda function right in, it actually created the Lambda function to deploy the bucket, this sunglass bucket. Okay, we are done. So you can see it actually outputs the site's URL for us. That's the static website on, not the domain. So this for the static website. So how do we know the domain is actually working? So, so that's it. It worked perfectly. So let me show you how it actually works in the environment. So we actually automated the whole process, but even it takes time. So that's why I said this is not the best practice for CDK, but it's just for you to have a knowledge of how CDK works to create complete. Then you should have the bucket deployed right in here right now. So this is it. As you can see, public. Then I said I want to show you the lambda. See, 3 minutes ago, static website. So this actually deploy the bucket for us. The object, it deploys into the bucket. So that's what this does. Okay, right now it's not going to run. So yes, like going to import the necessary files and stuff like that. So okay, what else again do I want to show you? Okay, let's go to our route fill. So I'm having to extend now. So as you can see, it actually created a new record for us, which is www.automation.ml. S3 is simple. So we can actually specify more than that, probably if we want weighted based routings and stuff like that. So that's it. So let me if you want to destroy, if actually maybe you actually edit this code and maybe you want to like update some stuff in it. Let's take for example, I just said to remove this. Not much of a difference though. And I say CDK def. Just going to print out the difference between the current state and the state actually that you want to deploy. If there's no difference, it's going to tell you like there's no difference. And there's a change, it's going to tell you where the changes are coming from. So if at any point in time you delete, as when I delete that record now manually, and I actually type CDK diff, it's not going to spot any difference at all. It's not because the only it's just going to check the cloud formation. And you know, in cloud formation, once you deploy, it doesn't like start waiting for you to like deploy again. No, once you delete it manually, you have to delete it manually. So you have to run the code again. Or like Terraform. Terraform doesn't do Terraform has to make sure that this thing is still there. If it's not there, then it creates another one. But this one is just cloud formation. So because it's using cloud formation, you're only going to check cloud formation template that is there compared to this CDK's synthesize that is and it's having writing here. Check if there's a difference, and if there's no difference, it's going to tell you that there's no difference, and if there's a difference, it's going to update the stack. So that's it. So it has a lot of template to go through. That's why it's still like taking a lot of time to load. Okay, says there is no difference because this doesn't actually change anything. Even if I delete something, even if I delete, but that is on time. Okay, so let me do this record. So it's gone. So yeah, that's what I'm understood. So how can I be sure I created the record? If I reload this page, it's not going to load. Just add it here, it's not going to load. Okay, I use cached. Okay. Yeah. It's still like caching the file, I think. Wow, it's still working. Okay. Sure, okay. It probably because of the stock. Okay. Now, if you want to destroy, you have CDK destroy. So once you click on CDK destroy, it's going to ask you that, are you sure you want to destroy this template? And if you say yes, it's going to destroy. If you say no, it's going to abort it. It's going to stay your mission aborted by the user. So we actually want to destroy it. We want to destroy everything we have created. But one thing is that it's not going to destroy it is the bucket because I didn't put removal policy. So as when I had put removal policy to destroy that bucket, it's going to destroy it. And that was the same error we had the other time. I didn't put removal policy. That's why you can see that bucket saying, oh, this bucket, the same bucket exists with the same name. So ZDK destroy is going to destroy everything that we have created, just like Terraform destroy. They work same way. So this code will be available in my GitHub account. So GitHub repository. So you can actually get it right in here. Generation destroy. Delete everything. The lambda is created as part of the lambda function, the S3 bucket, the role, everything. So it skip actually skip this one. because I didn't ask it to delete. So now I skip this last one. See, they're going to delete every other thing. The best in portal policy, every other thing. Okay, it's almost done. So we are done. So that's everything about it. So thank you very much for watching. And remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel to receive updates on the next YouTube video. So thank you very much.